Hello Italian cookers, welcome to the new recipe. Today we make a special recipe because it's a recipe of my grandma and I'm particularly bound to it. So it's peach cake and we can call it my grandma's peach cake. Ingredients. So for the dough, 75 grams of sugar, 2 egg yolk. One is shattered, but no problem because we have to mix it up, so no problem. 2 egg whites, 100 grams of butter, 100 grams of flour, and 1 small package of yeast with vanilla flavor. It's basically 16 grams. For the entire composition, we have 400 grams of peaches in syrup, 1 coffee cup of the syrup of the peaches because we need it, 50 grams of butter, 100 grams of sugar, 100 grams of crumbled almonds, and 100 grams of amaretti biscuits. The first step is to slice the peaches 1 centimeter thick, not too thin because otherwise it will burn during the cooking. Here they are. As you can see, they are approximately 1 centimeter, and we put it aside until we start the composition. Now is the turn for the dough. We first add the egg yolk, we add sugar. While we mix egg yolk and sugar, we melt the 100 grams of butter. We can use a bain-marie process or you can use a pan. But if you use a pan, be careful because the butter have not to fry, because otherwise it will separate fat and water and it's not good for a cake. And we start mixing until they are creamy. Okay, this is exactly the consistency that the yolk must have. It's creamy. Now we add the melted butter. We give a stir to incorporate the butter. Okay, butter is incorporated. It's more liquid now, it's correct. Now we add the syrup of the peaches and we give another good stir. Syrup is incorporated and now we slowly add flavor. The results will not a stiff dough, but it will be also creamy. Flour is all incorporated. As you can see, it's creamy, but it's not too dense. Now we add the yeast with vanilla flavor. Try to mix well the yeast and the dough. Perfect, the dough is consistent, you have no lumps. Now we mount the egg white until stiff. We can use a blender or you can use usually a fork and match muscles. So it's up to you, absolutely. A little secret, add to egg white a little pinch of salt. It will help to incorporate air and will help to egg white to become stiff faster. The eggs are stiff. Now we add it to the dough and meanwhile we melt the 50 grams of butter for the composition. When we add egg white, we try to not unmount. In Italy we say smontare le uova. So we not let the air will flow out from the egg white. In order to do this, we have to mix from the bottom to the top. From the bottom to the top. From the bottom to the top. The dough is ready. As you can see, it's creamy but spongy at the same time. And now we start with the composition. So first of all, we have to put on a baking tray 30 centimeters per 20, the 50 grams of melted butter. We distribute over the baking tray. Now is the time for the 100 grams of sugar. Try to distribute evenly. And now the peaches. Peaches are ready. Try to be as even as possible, but try to do your best. We are not to make an engineering work, so now it's the turn of almonds. Almonds are done. Now it's the turn of amaretti biscuits. Amaretti biscuits are okay, and now we cover with the dough. And now with a spoon, we level the dough. Now the cake is ready for the oven. As you can see, the cream is mixed with amaretti biscuits. It's perfectly normal. It grows a little during the cooking. Now we put in the preheated static oven at 180 degrees, which is 365 Fahrenheit, for approximately 45 minutes. You have to keep an eye on the crust. When it's brown, the cake is basically cooked. You can test with a little stick, and if the stick is still humid, the cake have to cook slightly more. We will see in 45 minutes approximately. The cake is cooled down, and now it's yummy time. So the cake is cooked perfectly. The color of the surface is this dark brown, is absolutely the perfect color. You can see the peaches on the bottom. You can serve in this way or upside down like a tarte tatin, but usually my grandma served this cake in this way. Nice. The amaretti will basically create a contrast with the sweetness of the peaches. It's spongy because of the egg white, very stiff. It's a local family tradition recipe, but I think that if you will try, you will do a fantastic surprise for your guests. That's all for today's dish. As usual, if you like our videos, feel free to subscribe and click on the bell in order to be warned when the next video will come out. From now until next recipe, from Italy and my grandma's peach cake with love.